Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next session of Meet the Members of Empower Africa. My name is Shai Bernstein. I'm VP of Business Development and Partnerships at Empower Africa. And as you can see, we're having more and more of these sessions because we want to, all our members to mix and mingle and get to know each other. We have fantastic people joining our business community. Very excited about that. And for those of us who are joining us for the first time, Empower Africa is a business community with a mission to drive investment, trade, and job creation in Africa. We believe in trade over aid and that business is the best way to grow, build, and create sustainable and scalable solutions. We believe in bringing good people together, the power of synergy. And our goal is to create connections, optimize communication, and maximize on the collaboration. So the business community brings together SMEs and entrepreneurs, investors, banks, PEs, VCs, government officials, multinational enterprises, nonprofits, all to one table to really enhance the communication and collaboration that can happen. So speaking of bringing good people together, it's my pleasure and honor to welcome Evelyn Castle, CEO of EHA Impact Ventures. Evelyn, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yes, of course. It's funny, we mentioned before that we connected years ago in Sierra Leone, and the world continues, and I'm glad that we reconnected, speaking in this wonderful podcast. Please, Evelyn, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I started my career doing research actually at the University of California in Santa Cruz, looking at kind of like how can technology be used in healthcare. And based on that research, at one point, myself and my business partner decided, well, let's just move to Nigeria and see what happens. So we started a nonprofit organization called eHealth Africa, and that organization, it's now been about 12 years that we've been running that. And really the goal of eHealth Africa is to use technology and data to improve health decisions in Africa. And we've had a really fun career. We supported the polio eradication in Africa and in Nigeria. We were a big player in the Ebola response. We were based in Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, and then obviously helped with the Ebola response here in Nigeria too.
Wow.
Yeah. And I recently also obviously been supporting the COVID response. I was part of the presidential task force here in Nigeria supporting that. So the NGO, working in the aid world has been a really interesting experience, but at the same time, eye-opening in a lot of ways as well. As much impact that we've had around things like disease eradication, using aid for disease eradication, we also saw that aid wasn't always the kind of like sustainable, long-lasting change in the health system. So a couple years ago, we decided to venture into the for-profit side of healthcare, and we started a network of primary care clinics called EHA Clinics, and that's been going super well. We now have 3 clinics in Nigeria, over 2,000 members, and we've been a big player from the private side also on the COVID response here in Nigeria. And based off of the decade of experience that we've had at this point, looking at how to run companies and how to implement projects in Nigeria, we really feel that kind of the way for sustainable change in Africa is through supporting SMEs. And because of that, we've started now an impact investing company called EHA Impact Ventures. And we're still in the process of launching it. We started earlier this year. But our focus is really going to be on supporting female-led enterprises. We know that female-led SMEs are generally overlooked. They don't even get like a fraction of the funding that male-led SMEs get. And then supporting them not just through money, but through our experience about really how to build a base and an infrastructure for SMEs to grow and thrive here in Nigeria.
Fantastic. Wow. I mean, look, first of all, I couldn't agree with you more, of course, about the whole, SME being the engine of growth, right? We all know that, and just the importance of the sustainability aspect of it. And I totally, resonate with what you're saying about the women founders, because it's a known issue all over the world. And actually just recently spoke to a number of different, both VCs and actually women entrepreneurs and CEOs who were talking about, the problem and how serious it is, but then at the same time, some wonderful initiatives that are moving towards fixing that problem. One of them was Demi from Total Energy Ventures, and a bunch of other ones. So, maybe it would be good also for me to connect you with them. That may be interesting. So we'll take that offline. Okay, wonderful. And I mean, could you share a little bit with us, just, I don't know, some of your latest activities or maybe your plans for the future?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're excited about is there's a group here in Nigeria called the Impact Investors Foundation. They're based down in Lagos, and they're hosting a deal summit in November. And they've asked us to come on and help support them with really finding some of these SMEs who are ready for, that are like investment ready. And in Nigeria, especially, Lagos really gets the majority of the spotlight around enterprises. And a lot of those happen to be tech enterprises. And
Right.
Even though I support, tech SMEs, we're really looking at like having a bigger impact, job creation, looking at like feeding the population.
Right.
Tech SMEs aren't necessarily going to get us there.
Right.
So they've asked us to support them with doing these kind of like road shows in Abuja and then in the north in Kano about how do we target these kind of like normally excluded groups of people from the kind of more like Lagos venture funding. So we're going to support them with doing a couple road shows, reaching out to our networks, trying to get groups that are interested in investments to come in, and then hopefully the deal summit will be like a matchmaking summit where investors and SMEs will come together, and hopefully we can spread some of that love out of just Lagos.
Fantastic. So that's another thing we should follow up offline and discuss like how we could potentially collaborate, how we can help. Okay, wonderful. So before we wrap things up, as I told you, I always like to ask the guests to kind of, just share a quote or saying that they like or resonate with. So please share with us.
I don't know if this is like a life thing, but the number one thing that always resonates with me that I feel like, living in Nigeria, sometimes you just have to go like your own internal like monologue sometimes. But my quote is always the Michelle Obama quote, "When they go low, we go high."
When they go low, we go high. Nice. Very good. Very good. Okay, Evelyn, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll discuss offline a number of things that we need to. And stay safe and healthy. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.